Hello, what is going on? Hope everybody had a good day. I had a great day. I didn't do too much today. I have plans for the rest of the week, which I will document and share. I really like doing that. I'm not sure who has tuned in for it, but it's kind of my new obsession because I, for one, don't like talking about the toxicity anymore. I want to be very encouraging and uplifting in my videos from now on. And I have been revisiting a lot of places around and in Chattanooga that make me happy. And I am very committed right now to taking myself on dates. And these are things and some other things that I want to show you in this video. Things that make me happy, things that celebrate me and I enjoy my own company. And also, they don't cost much money. I want to encourage you guys to keep on that self-love journey to rebuild that foundation if things didn't go the way that you thought they would in the past and you have had a spiritual awakening, if you are in a rebuilding phase, or if you've had a tower moment where everything fell because it was built on a faulty foundation and you're rebuilding that with God on the firm foundation of self-love and the oneness and going home to yourself, which is part of source energy, and embracing that we are all part of source energy, trying to get rid of any of those barriers that keep you from loving yourself or loving each other. And I just find it's helpful when you, even if you don't have much money, that you find ways to celebrate yourself and celebrate the things and the people around you, the things that are healthy for you. I got a new tripod, or a tripod. I never had a tripod before, so I'm gonna have a little bit of difficulty getting used to looking at the camera the way that my phone is positioned now to record. It's funny because I got Colin a GoPro for Christmas. I'm adjusting it, so that's why it's bouncing. I got him well, it was an off-brand GoPro, but it was still a pretty nice one for Christmas, and I bought him a tripod. And in knowing that it was Christmas time and a lot of things would be sold out, I just went and got the first one that I saw, which was at Target for almost $37. And this tripod that I got for myself is almost the same as his. It's just a little bit cheaper materials, but it still does the same thing. Feels very sturdy. It was $5.55 at Five Below. So yeah, just go to Five Below if you need a good tripod. Don't worry with Target, and I don't think Walmart had any at all. But I had tried to save money in order to be able to get him more things than I did the year before for Christmas. So I went to a pawn shop and got his GoPro. Or the off-brand GoPro, but I wouldn't suggest doing that because as soon as we put it on the tripod, the thing would not turn back on. It turned on for a second, and we took like 2 pictures with it, and then it cut off and would never cut back on. So I just recently got him a new one and had it mailed to his house. So I hope he's enjoying that. I hope he's documenting some things like I'm documenting some things. He's the one that encouraged me to start a YouTube page, and he had a couple of YouTube pages. So he's the real pioneer here. But yeah, don't waste money on those expensive tripods. It is not worth it. You can get a nice one for $5.55 plus tax at Five Below. So go check that out. And it has a little remote control with it. I don't know if I can take it off. You can sync it up to your phone. I don't know if I can take it off with this on here. Anyway, there's a little like wireless remote control that comes with it for you to take pictures and to record at the push of a button, and you sync it up to your phone like you would any Bluetooth device. It's got a little battery in it, and I don't even know if Collins came with this. I think it did, but I probably didn't pay that much attention to it, but I can't believe this one came with it too. Anyway, it's pretty nice. So I want to talk about, first I'll go over my little dates that I've been taking myself on. These are all places that I have gone with my boys in the past, and um, you can get like, I think for the reservation for like Lula Lake, and there's going to be places like this around you. You just have to do your research, or if you're here, you could take the research that I've already done and go to the same places. But Lula Lake, the reservation just costs for parking. So I don't think I put that on my video, but even though it is a reservation, they just charge you for parking. And I think there's like a fee for paying online or something. So it wasn't very expensive. It was less than, I think it's like $10 plus whatever the fee is, which I think was like between 2 and 4. I can't remember. But, and then like the other place that I went, which was on Signal Mountain, is completely free, no parking at all. It's free fun, and there's other places in town that you can go, and you'll see on my future videos other places that I'm gonna go, and I'll let you know how much it costs me. But it can be free if you go on certain days for these activities, and there's other ways that you can get discounts to go for almost free. So it's hardly anything. I'm talking like $5 to get into the rest of the places that I'm going to go. So these things do not cost money. They are very entertaining, and you are pouring into yourself. Or if you do have your children around you, you're pouring into your children. You're making memories either with yourself or with your family for very, very cheap or for free. So I want to encourage you guys to pour into yourself, to practice that self love, and then doing those things, like I said in my last video, as you encounter other people, other beings on these journeys, on these adventures, you're not thinking about anything that is negative. Everyone is being positive. That's why they're going out and having these experiences. It's very rare that you'll run into anything negative while you're doing them, and the people that are there are also there seeking a fun adventure, and they're enjoying themselves or their family or the environment. And there's no stress, there's no tension. Everything that is a stressor, everything that might normally frustrate you is not there. It's all removed. These are very, very healthy environments, healthy outings. And even if no one is there, I want you guys to enjoy your own company, to feel the oneness that is all around us, that we are connected to everything, to every being. We are connected to source. So at any time, if you are ever in the physical by yourself, know that you are not alone. And when you connect to your higher self, the more that you can cut off the narrator in your head, or any kind of anxiety or worries or anything that might be holding you back in your daily life. Once you can shut that off, you never feel truly alone. And I am a testament to this because I have been walking this path for over a year, almost a year and a half now, completely by myself. The only time that I've really been around other people was when I was working. And even then, you don't have to connect with the things that you don't want to connect with, the things that are a nope. You know, I'm gonna love you from afar, pray for you from over here. You do not have to engage and sync up with the things that might be negative in your environment. I was at a call center where most people that called were already in a bad mood about something. And even sometimes, if they had their mind set on riding that train right into the station, you don't have to jump on that train and go with them. You don't have to let them take you down. You don't have to let them have their way with you if they are committed to a negative conversation or experience. You can just be an observer. You don't have to ride that train. And most of the time, depending on how much you've worked with other people and your de-escalation techniques, which I feel like I have quite a bit of experience with, but it does take time, but everyone can do it. De-escalating yourself for one, de-escalating others, and turn that negative into a positive, so that if they wanted to be on that train, the way that they experience you and your energy just will not let that train go forward. And it puts a complete stop to it. It takes all of the steam out of that engine to where they don't have anywhere to go. There's nowhere to go because it's not open. That railway is not open for permission to pass into your station. It cannot come here. So I know that I had many calls that were frustrating and people were angry, but at the end, we wrapped it up with a nice little bow and we were both happy. There was only probably, I could count on one hand the number of people that just refused to come with me. But most of them, if you knew what you were doing as far as like my job, which I did know what I was doing, I could always help facilitate whatever they needed help with in order to bring it to a positive. And then at the end of the call, we either ended on neutral or positive terms, that they didn't have any energy that built up with that negativity, so it had nowhere to go. So even in times like that, there's ways to maneuver around it where you don't have to be dragged down into low vibes. And I want you to be able to embrace everything that way. I don't want you to feel alone. You are never, ever alone. And all of us are so wonderfully made. We are made in God's image. I don't want any of you to start talking negatively about yourself or to focus on your flaws or imperfections. I want you to celebrate those things, learn to laugh about them, even if you don't want to continue with what you find as less savory about yourself. Still laugh at it in the journey of becoming better at those things. There's never going to be a perfect person. I don't care who you're talking to. If they're telling you that, then they're disillusioned. There's no perfect person. And the reason that we come here is to learn lessons, and a lot of those lessons are about ourselves. The things that we've put in our path to learn from, those have been obstacles and lessons that we've learned from other people. But even if you're not around many other people, you can still learn to open yourself up to other people, learn to only embrace what you choose to embrace and let everything else fly, and to embrace yourself, including all of your flaws and imperfections. There's lots of things that I would like to change about myself. There's lots of things that I have changed about myself. But along the way, I'd like to think that I definitely gave myself some grace, and I gave myself compassion as I have done with others throughout this most recent journey, because it was not easy. It's not easy to show grace and compassion. It's not easy to love your imperfections too, but you can learn to, and it gets easier as you go. So um, I still have struggles sometimes daily. The only attachment that I ever really have um, trouble with is Colin, and that's because this whole journey was surrounding, that whole just the whole custody thing. And so that I have gotten a lot better at, and I do not spend hours crying about it. I do not let anything that anybody tries to do that might be childish or immature or done out of spite or to intentionally weaponize that attachment. I do not let it get to me. I've come so far with my emotional maturity that I have shocked myself. I mean, really shocked myself in a lot of situations. And I've been very stoic, and I have worked on the things that did bring pain to me to where I don't have pain from them anymore. This past weekend, I didn't, I'm supposed to have a phone call with him on Saturday, but I didn't get the phone call at all this weekend. And instead of going over and over that and letting it upset me, I bought myself some flowers. So I wanted to suggest that to you guys. They don't have to be roses. You can go to food cities like the main that and neighborhood Walmart, or Walmart is like the main grocery stores and stores that we have around here. But whatever your grocery store is, you can get these roses were $10. You can get bouquets for 3, for 5. That's what I did for Valentine's Day because all roses were gone. But I think the flowers that I got for Valentine's Day were $5. You could even go somewhere and pick flowers for yourself and bring them home and plop them in a vase, and just smelling them and seeing them will make you happier. Pour into yourself, especially when someone has done something to try to hurt you or to make you sad. Transmute that by pouring into yourself and making yourself happy. You don't need to rely on anybody or anything to make you happy outside of yourself. That is your job to do. If anybody else pours into you, that should be the extra. That's just the extra. That is not anything that you need to sustain your worth. It is not anything that you need to sustain your happiness. You can choose happiness every day for free. It doesn't require doing anything except getting up and maybe saying some affirmations that I'm worth it. I am unconditional love. I am strength, courage, bravery. I am everything that I need already. So even though it would have been nice to have that phone call over the weekend, it is not a requirement for me to stay happy, healthy, motivated, and successful on my journey. I am good enough all by myself. These things are not a means to an end. The end in itself is good enough right where it is, and that is me. That is me. That is who I am. My authentic self is good enough for me to be happy with on a daily basis. And I will pour into that regardless of what's in my life. Whether I get married again, if I realign with my children again, if I have my dream job, or all of the things on my vision board, I'm still going to continue to do everything that I do for myself right now, no matter what changes in the future. I'm not focused on that. And if it does come to the now further down the road, great, that's awesome. But I am still not going to move from this foundation that I have set up for me and God. I'm going to continue the same relationship that I have with Him, with Source, with the Divine, with the Most High, whatever you choose to call it in your world, and the relationship that I have with myself, no matter what happens the rest of my life. Every single day is going to include one or more of these things, or different things as I discover that they make me happy as well. But I want to encourage you guys to do these things because it's going to change your perspective. It's going to shift your perspective. It's going to help you to not be rooted in those attachments that you think that you need, or that someone may use to weaponize to hurt you, to bring a tower in your life. Because if you build on those things as your foundation and not the foundation with you and God, then your tower is going to continue to fall over and over and over and over again. It doesn't matter if it's not built firmly, if it's built on things that were not sturdy, that were not meant to have a foundation built on them, it's going to continue to fall no matter what. No matter if it takes something tragic or traumatic, it doesn't matter. If it's not built by you going within and you connecting to your higher self, which is also Source, and walking your path with God and learning to let go, release, surrender, no matter what you've built it on, if it's other than that, it's going to keep falling. So I want to help you guys to get there with the least amount of pain and suffering. And I just wanted to show you guys some examples of things that I have, because I also said in my last video that even though it's great to get to the 40 where you start questioning things, that I want you to maybe also do what I did in cherry pick. Don't put yourself into a box and make yourself small. You are powerful, divine being. We are infinitely powerful, just like God is. But we are shoved into this tiny body where we are restricted, but not within our power. We can change our reality, shift our perspective anytime we want. It's just the choice to surrender and let go of the things that are no longer serving you, the things that have been weaponized to hurt you, that have labels and attachments to them. Let everything go without digging in your heels and giving up your dignity and your self-worth to attain them, because if they were taken for a reason. God allowed that. And if you were meant to have them back, you will realign with that in due time, in God's timing. So pray for his help if something is too big for you. But in the meantime, while you wait, you don't know how long you're going to have to wait for that help or that answer. It will come, but you don't know when and you don't know how. So in the meantime, pour into yourself. Pour into yourself. And that is something I was talking about, cherry picking and being in the 4D, that I do not subscribe to everything Christianity, very little, if very, very little. I won't say nothing religious at all, but very little. It's a big part of my background, whether people want to think it is or not. It was. I've been in church a lot, and I have learned a lot from church. Not all good things, which is why I try to point those things out to people that will viciously protect it, not realizing that they have been indoctrinated by it for someone else's self-serving agenda. And not all cases, and not all maliciously. Some people are just doing it because that's how they grew up, or they're teaching it to others because that's what was taught to them. So I'm not putting it down and putting it all into a negative light, but I want you to question everything. And being in the 4D, when we question, I have done lots of reading on enlightenment, on philosophy, on spirituality, on religion, and I have cherry picked the things that have worked for me. And I have taught you guys a lot about the things that I have learned by Eckhart Tolle in The Power of Now. And I have cherry picked things from this book. I would like to say that everything in it was just wonderful and perfect, but it wasn't. I found flaws in this as well. And one of the main things that I learned about staying in the now is he will talk about, there's lots of, he answers the questions that other people have asked him in his book. That's the main, layout of it. And he has talked about people asking him about, well, we have real life situation problems, and if we focus on the now, he says that there's no problem in the now, but the problem doesn't go away just because you focus on the now. The problem will eventually come into the now, and he said that you will instinctually know exactly what to do in the now when that problem has come to a point where you have to face it. And I thought, he doesn't have children. That was my first thought, is how he explained that away. I thought, he doesn't have children, because when you have children and they're reliant upon you and life situations arise where there is a problem in the now. I had recently saw a headline in the news about a lady that had, she was homeless with her children, and they were sleeping, I think, in a parking garage in her van, and the van ran out of gas, and two of her children froze to death. And I thought, the power of now definitely doesn't apply to that situation. He could not have explained that situation away in a way where her staying in the moment of the now would have been, he would have been able to say, well, there's no problem in the now, because there was a problem in the now. And she instinctually did everything that she knew in her power to deal with it, and two of her children transitioned. So I Googled Eckhart Tolle, and I'm sorry, buddy, but I did find in your bio on Wikipedia that you do not have children, and he's in his 70s now, so he's not going to have children. So I don't subscribe to everything 100%. I do have a Bible, and I told you guys I am in the Bible every single day. I don't know if you can tell how like worn out my Bible is, but this Bible was given to me when I was in Christian counseling after I went through my last divorce, which was hellish. And yeah, this thing is cracked open. Like, it is coming open at the seams. There are pages that I have to keep putting back in there because it's falling apart. I need a new one, but I like the feel of this one, and I like that it has some miles on it with my life. It has meaning to me, and every day I read at least Psalm 91, and depending on where I flip through, when I'm flipping to the book to get to that verse, if it stops somewhere else, I will take that as a guide for me to read that as well. And I haven't read the entire thing, but in the Bible, I have problems with things that it says as far as Genesis, just starting to read, because I was on a mission at first, and I was gonna read the whole thing from start to finish. But in Genesis, I had to skip over the part where it was talking about the daughters getting their father drunk and having sex with him in order to have children, and they got pregnant by their father without him knowing what was going on. I was like, what? I know this is old times, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to pass on this. And just certain other things that are in the Bible. I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in I believe in karma while you're here on earth. I believe that you can create your own hell on earth, but I don't believe that God sends any of us to hell. I just don't. So I cherry pick there. I would like to encourage you guys to use some other things that are not completely, not completely free, but they don't cost much at all. As far as things that I do subscribe to that have helped me, as far as my growth, or the spirituality, definitely the Bible, definitely used bookstores, or getting yourself a I know that we have, what's it called? Second and Charles. They have a clearance section that I have stayed in. I got my journal from there. It says, "Be brave," and it has all kinds of mushrooms around it, and the little porcupine was camping, so it like spoke to me. I got this for $1 at Second and Charles, and it is hardback, and I have so many journals that I have filled, but I will always go get another one, or even just a spiral notebook. I have gotten spiral notebooks from McKay's, the used bookstore here, for $1. I have lots of books from McKay's that I got for cheap, and when you're done reading them, you don't have to hold on to them. You can sell them back and then get new books with your credit. So that's a way to be economically sound with it. Also, if you have a favorite author, I did a Spotify subscription for cheap. They were sending out emails from where I used to have paid for Spotify every single month, and I think it was like $10, $9 or $10, and they did 2 months for $1.99, and so I quickly clicked on that, and I made sure to cancel before I got charged for any month after the 2 months. But I listened to so many audiobooks under that subscription, so that's an economical way. My favorite author is Anna Quinlan, and I went to the library, which library cards are free. You can, I think, check out Collins if you have a child as a student, or you're a student. Collins membership could check out 30 books at a time. He had like a huge limit on his, But for just a regular one, all you have to do is show your license, and you can get a library card, and I think you can check out up to 5 books at a time. And so I got I went back to Anna Quinlan, who was like a security blanket for me, because I read almost everything that Anna Quinlan has written, including her books with um, the columns that she had posted in the newspaper before she became an actual like novel writer. And I still have this. I paid $3 for this at, I think, McKay's, and I haven't read it yet, but I have this on reserve for when it's a rainy day and I can't do activities. I think all of my other books, except for The Light is the New Black, I love this book. If you're into spirituality, I'm going to read some of this in just a second, but I have kept that book. I haven't finished reading it, but all the other books that I've got from McKay's, other than that one that I read from occasionally to you guys, I only have 2 books from McKay's that I haven't sold back. So anyway, other ways for self-care that's not very expensive is I do a lot of spiritual baths, and spiritual baths for me include salt in them, and you can get this. I got this from Dollar Tree for $1.25. I got this from Walmart. I think it was $5, but it's a bubble bath, and there's lots of different scents, but it has salt in there. I also speak intention into my water. So anything that you would normally speak in a prayer, you can speak into your water. You can speak into your drinking water. Your words have power. Your words have power. Your thoughts have power. It's all energy. So you can infuse water with anything. I do it with salt. I do it with intentions and affirmations. A face mask that I got for $1.25. I haven't done this yet, but it's on a reserve for a time when I need to pour into myself. For the ladies, I want to encourage you to not let yourself go. And I don't mean like your body shape. I don't mean anything. I don't mean anything in a body shaming way at all. I mean, take care of yourself, as in shave. Don't stop shaving. Even when I was in the campground and I was camping, I shaved almost every time. I did not let myself become hairy. I don't like the way that it feels. I still kept doing that for self-care, even when I was considered by most people homeless. I have a razor that I got from Family Dollar that you can replace the razors on, and it was like $5, and I think it's $3 for the replacement razors. And it's a nice one too, so you don't have to. I even brought it in here to show you. It's one of the green ones. I don't remember what the name of it is, but you can see this at Family Dollar if you have one, and it is a nice razor. It's not one of those cheap flimsy ones that will cut you from head to toe. So get yourself a nice razor for $5 and keep shaving. Put on lotion. That's an extra love on yourself step. Do not skip the lotion. It will make you feel moisturized. Just putting that extra step into your care will change your mood entirely, as far as knowing that you're worth it. You're caring for yourself. You're going that extra step. Also, when I was camping, $1.25, got a huge bottle of lotion from the Dollar Tree. Got everything from the Dollar Tree when I was camping, but I did not stop taking care of myself. Now that I am back in a place where I can take baths, I'm back to the spiritual baths. I did that when I was in hotels. I also went to the spiritual store, and they have little mixtures that you can get that are for different things. I don't ever consider them for those things. I get them because of how they smell. I speak my own intention to them, so I don't really take account into what other people have labeled them, because I don't subscribe to what they're doing. I create my own reality, and I will speak the intentions that I want into my spiritual bath. And cleansing is huge for me. That is one thing that I do cherry pick from spirituality, is cleansing. I cleanse with Palo Santo. I cleanse with sage. I don't really like sage that much. And don't let anybody pick on you because of cultural appropriations, because sage, nobody owns sage as their own cleansing ritual. It's not proprietary. Like, come on. All of these things are created by God. We are all connected. I stand with oneness and one love, and I do not believe in cultural appropriations. I do not believe in something being just for one person and not for these people. I do not. That's just a point of contention that's going to keep you arguing and keep you away from unconditional love. I do not subscribe to that. Incense, $1 for a pack at Walmart. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. These are 5 for, I think, $5 at Five Below. You can get 2 of these at Five Below and 1 pack for $5. And then, like I said, even when I was in the hotel, I would get these for $1. I think they came 12 or 20 to a pack. I don't know. You can cleanse your energy like that. You can also cleanse your energy with sound. Now, I got a cheap sound bowl from Five Below. It was $3. I know it might be funny to some of you who have these big fancy sound bowls, but this works just as well. So sound will cleanse your energy. Also, bells. Bells. I got this from the spiritual store, I think for $5 a long time ago. Bells can cleanse your energy. I also believe in the power of healing with crystals. I have crystals. You can recharge them during the full moon. Research that if it's something that you're interested in. I also have collected stones for quite some time, and I have a little bag that they go in, and I had those when I was kicked out of my uncle's house, when I was locked out of my uncle's house, and I still have all of those. You can look up what they mean, but if you are drawn to it, that's all that matters. If it's pretty to you, if it's catching your eye, you don't have to go by the book by what these mean. This is aventurine. It's supposed to be about opportunities, for jobs, for money, for things like that. I like the flat ones because they're kind of like worry stones. Some of them just have sentimental value. Like my son gave me this one. He bought me this tiger's eye ring. I have glued this thing back together after breaking it with hammering my tent stakes down with a rock so many times, and I still have put it back together. I think it's broken in 4 places, but I still wear it. So I definitely believe in tiger's eye. You guys should check that out. Another thing that I do now that I have bats is I bought a pumice stone. Take care of your feet. Paint your toenails. I don't paint my fingernails. I used to get my nails done like religiously, but that is not in the cards for the amount of money that I make or have. So I still did. This was $1. There's very cheap ways that you can still pay attention to keeping yourself shaved, keeping yourself moisturized, keeping your toes looking nice and your feet feeling smooth. I got this like hydration for your face. It's a little serum from Dollar Tree for $1.25. If your lips are chapped, make sure that you have chapstick for your lips. All of these things are super cheap. You don't have to get them all at one time. Just add them to your collection of self-care items whenever you have an extra $1 or $2. That's what I did. I never went and just got a haul and brought all of these things home at once. These candles are at Walmart for $3. They're like $2.98. They will last you. It's a 3-wick, so it doesn't burn straight down to the center. I used to work at Yankee Candles, so I used to be a candle snob, but these are just as good as Yankee Candles. And with 3 candles, you're not going to get the tunneling. $3 or 3 wicks, no tunneling. $3. $3. So make sure you take that extra step for yourself, just a little bit here and there. It will go such a long way, and you are so worth it. And that will keep you pouring into yourself, pouring into self-care, building that strong foundation of choosing you no matter what. No matter what, even if everything is dreamy and perfect in your life, still do that, because at any moment, anything can be pulled away. And especially if you are attached to it, that will cause pain and suffering. And you don't want to be knocked down to feeling like, I don't have anything, or who am I now, that my identity was all wrapped up in that. Because if you're doing all of these things, or things like this that work for you just the same as they're working for me, you can never be knocked down to nothing, because you have built that strong foundation on self-love, on connecting to source, whatever you choose to call it, so that you know your worth. You are not looking outside of yourself, or to any attachment, or to any love from any other source to let you know that you are worth it, and that you are wonderful. You are amazing. You are beautiful inside and out. And you are showing that to yourself every single day, regardless of what goes on around you. There could be a whole storm, a whole hurricane, a whole tornado, metaphorically, of things that are going wrong, or chaos. And you will be the eye of that storm. You will be peaceful. You will be tranquil. You will be free of all of that if you have a foundation built on yourself and God. Choose you every single time, no matter what is going on, whether you want to label it good, bad, or indifferent. It's never going to affect your existence in this world if you do these things or similar things like this to show yourself love on a daily basis. Don't fall behind. Just every day, just something every day, whether it's just a walk, whether you pick up a souvenir from your walk and that be your gift to yourself. I've collected little things from everywhere I've gone. When I was camping outside of their little pavilion that they would have meetings in and stuff, I found a ton of these. Well, it looked like this at first. A ton of these. I guess they used it for a function or an event, or for children. I don't know what they used them for, but somebody had dumped a whole bunch of them for giveaway, and they were laying all out on the ground in the rain, and I picked one up, and then I made something beautiful out of it. I painted it, and I've done that with a lot of things, but I have rocks and feathers and all kinds of things that I consider signs and synchronicities for myself to let me know I'm on the path and to not stop. But I did want to read a little bit out of this. This is what made me want to go back and start doing some things. For one, my journal says be brave, and my son Colin gave me this that he bought from the book fair that the children at his school had made, and they laminated them and they sold them, some older grades. He's now in the highest grade of elementary, but at the time I think um, he was in fourth grade, and he bought this for me and he gave this to me. So it is my bookmark for this book, and it made me think about getting back into hiking and going back out further than just my walk in the park for nature, to start taking myself on little day dates and connecting with nature that way. I encounter those people that are happy as well. We don't have the hustle and bustle or anything frustrating going on, and it's a genuine, authentic, happy, peaceful moment that we're sharing when we meet in places like that, even with strangers. Or if I'm doing it by myself, I'm with God, and I'm never alone out there anyway. And I enjoy nature, and even more than it has to offer, not just limiting myself to the park. But yeah, I have not read this chapter, but I just want to read a little bit of it, because the things that I say, I'm not just getting from books. I am channeling these things. They are coming from my higher self when I'm not scripting anything. I'm not reading from any notes. So everything that I've said has been from my heart, has been channeled. Whatever word that you want to use for it, it was not constructed. It was completely authentic and coming straight from source. And when I opened these books, I was just going to show the bookmark, but when I opened it up to where I had stopped reading in this book, this person is saying things that I have already said, and I did not get it from her, but we are on the same page. This is not crazy talk. People put so much emphasis and talk and interest into like Wi-Fi and AI and the internet and all of these things with technology. But when it comes to energy and vibrations and frequencies, they want to be like, oh, that's crazy talk. How are all those other things possible? And you're paying so much money for them, and they work, and you're astonished by them, and you don't even know how to live your life without most of them nowadays. But when it comes to basic things that make up our existence, that's crazy talk. And these people are out of their minds. But it's really, we've gotten so far away from those things that it sounds crazy, because you're living your life based on all of these things that have been created by man and not created by God. So think about that. But anyway, this chapter was on oneness versus aloneness. And it says, while your soul is currently in a physical body, which is separate from others, you are part of a larger whole, a oneness beyond identity, body, and words. And somewhere deep down, our soul remembers this. For souls who have experienced more than just the earth plane, this earth experience can be horribly isolating. For our true essence knows that we are beings of light, love, and oneness from source, having a human experience. You are divine. And I like how she says, sometimes it takes everything to go wrong for us to give up the fight and give in to its warm embrace. Our soul knows the way. Listen to its whispers and follow the trail. And we are all bundles of divine cosmic source energy buzzing around in human bodies. We see ourselves as separate when really we are all going through the same thing, the same journey back home to oneness. So build your foundation on that. We are all one. So if you're doing harm to anyone or yourself, you're doing it to all of us at the same time. So want the best for yourself and want the best for everyone else, because we are all one. We are all connected, and we are all from a divine power source. We are all infinitely powerful because we are all part of the same thing. So I want the best for all of us, and you have to start that journey by investing in yourself. And once you have healed some of your traumas, you have addressed some of your hurts, and you have healed yourself because it's your own responsibility to do that, then you have gotten out of your own way, and you have gotten anyone that means any negative intentions towards you out of the way as well. And then start building your foundation on that, and it will be so much easier to see us all as one and to love others the same way that you love yourself. You will embrace that oneness, and you will truly understand what it feels like when you are not stuck in those cycles. So please use some of my suggestions as jumping off points for things that create that same feeling for yourself, and start loving on yourself fiercely. Practice that every single day, whatever it is, and make a list. Make a list, rotate them if you don't have, and I don't suggest that you do any kind of haul, but all of these things are affordable, and some of the things that I have suggested are completely free. So there's no reason to not start putting one foot in front of the other and get on your self-care journey. Love yourself fiercely, no matter who else is there. You fill your own cup, then fill the cups of others with the overflow, and let them, and I highly encourage that they do that too. Don't let them pour from an empty cup either. Don't let them give you their last $30. If they give you your last $30, you send them back 60. You add to it and give it back to them, because they deserve what you're doing for yourself, for themselves as well. They can't pour from an empty cup either. So we want to bring everybody up with us. We want to be on a healthy foundation. We want them to be on a healthy foundation, and then we'll all be in each other's lives because we are vibrating the same, and everyone's going to lift everybody up and encourage and cheer them on. Nobody's going to be trying to be that crab in the bucket pulling them down because they don't want to put the work in. We're all going to put the work in. All going to do it together. And I know that may sound just so cliche and so cheerful and bubbly, but that is me. That is me. If you truly know me, I want the best for you. And this version of me is going even further than that. There's no going back, no ceilings to this. So get used to it. I love you. God loves you. You're never alone. I'll see you later. Bye.